The survival test was supposed to be a formality. At least, that's what the alien students had been told. The Galactic Academy prided itself on preparing future diplomats, scientists, and explorers to handle the unpredictable environments they might encounter beyond their home world. Every species had to pass the basic wilderness survival exercise before graduation. The exercise was simple: survive in a simulated, uninhabited forest for 72 hours with minimal supplies. For most students, the test was terrifying. For humans, it was Thursday. The group of students huddled nervously at the drop zone, antennae twitching, bioluminescent patches dim with stress, scales rustling, and various appendages curling in anxiety. Only one figure stood apart, hands in pockets, a faint grin on his face. Eli Mercer, the lone human exchange student, tilted his head up to admire the synthetic sky of the simulation dome. It was surprisingly realistic, soft sunlight filtering through the artificial clouds, a gentle breeze stirring the towering alien trees. Somewhere in the foliage, simulated avian creatures sang. "Students, you have been briefed," the AI instructor announced. "Survival packs issued. You may carry only what you have on your person. The simulation begins now." There was a mechanical hum, and suddenly they were alone. Panic rippled through the group. "Where's the camp marker?" hissed Vec, a spindly insectoid student with multifaceted eyes scanning the undergrowth. "There isn't one," Eli replied calmly, checking the contents of his small pack. "We're supposed to make camp." "Make camp?" squeaked Rella, a feathered avian student whose wings fluttered with distress. "We have no habitat modules, no shelter domes. How will we survive?" Eli shrugged, pulling a compact multi-tool from his belt. "We improvise." The others dispersed in frantic clusters, chittering in alien tongues, arguing over terrain, analyzing soil samples, and waving scanners wildly. Meanwhile, Eli wandered casually into the forest. 6 hours later, as twin simulated moons rose above the canopy, the exhausted alien students stumbled through the undergrowth, shivering and hopelessly lost. They had tried to build a shelter using their limited supplies and alien knowledge, but the thick, mossy ground was uneven, the trees too massive and strange for their designs. Then they saw it. A structure, high above the forest floor, perched among the branches of a colossal tree like something from an ancient Terran adventure film. It was rough-hewn but solid, logs lashed together, a sturdy platform with walls, a roof made of woven leaves and branches. And sitting on the edge, legs dangling, was Eli, waving a hand. "Hey!" he called down cheerfully. "Took you long enough." Their jaws, beaks, mandibles, and otherwise, dropped collectively. "You built that?" Rella squawked, eyes wide. "Sure did," Eli replied, descending a rope ladder with practiced ease. "Treehouse. Classic human move." "But it's impossible," Vec protested, legs trembling. "The materials, the tools, you didn't even have enough equipment." "Didn't need much," Eli said, patting the multi-tool at his side. "A little rope, some basic cutting tools, and, opposable thumbs and generations of how to survive in the woods drilled into my DNA." The others gaped. Eli gestured for them to climb up. "Come on. It's safe, dry, and I've even got a fire pit set up. Found some edible roots and berries, too." Within minutes, the alien students were huddled inside the surprisingly cozy treehouse, marveling at its structural integrity. The wind rustled outside, and faint, unfamiliar animal calls echoed through the forest, but up here it felt secure. "How did you do all this so fast?" asked Rella, still awestruck. Eli grinned. "You forget Earth's a death world. Our forests? Full of things trying to eat you, sting you, poison you, or drop a tree branch on your head. Humans had to get real good at building safe spots fast. Treehouses, lean-tos, even igloos in the snow. Give me 6 hours and a decent forest, and I'll have a 2-bedroom loft with a breakfast nook. The alien students exchanged glances. Suddenly, the horror stories they'd heard about humans, the apex predators of their home planet, the inventors of survival technology, the species that viewed wilderness as a challenge rather than a threat, seemed far more real. Vex's mandibles clicked nervously. And we panicked over setting up a ground shelter. Eli chuckled, tossing a small fruit into his mouth. First rule of surviving in the wild? Don't panic. Second rule? Height advantage. Most predators can't climb. Third rule? If you see a human setting up camp, stick close. By morning, the simulation AI scanned their location and reported. Survival status. Alien students. Sheltered, elevated position, minor caloric deficit. Human student. Sheltered, elevated position, fire source detected, caloric surplus. Human construct. Rated at 84% structural integrity. Projected longevity. 3 galactic weeks. When the instructors reviewed the simulation footage later, their expressions were unreadable. The human constructed an elevated shelter in 6 hours? The director asked flatly. Correct, the AI replied. Alien students displayed standard anxiety responses. Human displayed enthusiasm. Was this within expected parameters? The AI hesitated for a moment, processing. Human performance exceeded all known parameters. Back in the student lounge after the simulation, Eli's reputation spread like wildfire. The tale of the human who built a treehouse while everyone else panicked became legend among the Academy's students. Some whispered in awe, some in fear. But one thing was clear. The galaxy's best and brightest had underestimated the species that made treehouses, campfires, and mores in environments designed to kill them. And the humans? They called it camping.